Treviglio, Bergamo, Italy, July 5, 2025.
Sembra una scena di guerra, invece è il nostro festival. Là in fondo ci sono i gazebo che sono volati di là.
After days of intense heat, bad weather is hitting Lombardy violently. This morning's rains and storms are causing damage and inconvenience in several areas. Bad weather arrived in the Bergamo area this morning, Saturday, July 5th. Moments of fear on the morning of Saturday, July 5th, when a violent downburst hit Treviglio, Clusone, Val Seriana and part of the Lower Bergamo area with gusts that exceeded 100 kilometers per hour, transforming the streets into a tangle of broken branches, uncovered roofs and torn down billboards. The phenomenon, triggered by a rapidly developing storm system, gave rise to a column of cold air that, falling to the ground, propagated horizontally with such energy that it swept away everything in its path. Unlike a tornado, which has a visible vortex, the downburst manifests itself with a straight wind front that is equally destructive but often more subtle, because it strikes suddenly and without the typical warning signs. A tornado tried to ruin the party, but the Revel Summer Festival didn't stop. The violent storm that hit Treviglio on Saturday morning devastated the Treviglio Fiera exhibition pavilion that had already been set up for the musical event that will end on Sunday, July 13th. Chairs, tables, gazebos, tensile structures and various equipment were swept away in a few seconds. The damage is extensive. According to an initial estimate, it would be at least €50,000. The wind knocked down 100 trees and signs. Several roofs of industries or shopping centers were damaged. This happened, for example, to the roof of Same in Treviglio and to the roof of Carrefour in Caravaggio. Also in Caravaggio, there is a medium voltage pole that is in danger of collapsing. It is not excluded that a blackout will have to be scheduled in order to intervene. Fortunately, there were no serious injuries, but the damage to structures and trees was extensive, with numerous rescue teams and municipal technicians working since the early hours to restore traffic and secure the most affected areas. Some flights to Orio al Sirio's airport, Bergamo, have been diverted to other airports due to the strong storm that hit the province of Bergamo this morning. In particular, 9 flights were diverted to Bologna, 3 to Malpensa and 1 to Verona. Aircraft repositioning is underway and some departures have been delayed. A few hours ago, a water bomb hit Como and the surrounding area, especially towards Cantu, with heavy rain, hailstorms and violent gusts of wind that flooded squares, streets and underpasses. Piazza Cavour, the central area of Como overlooking the lake, was completely flooded and water began to leak from the manholes. Flooding also occurred in other areas of the city, such as the road between Via Paoli and Via Scalabrini, which became a river of water and mud. The storm left a long trail of damage behind it. In addition to a dozen or so gazebos that were torn down, about 20 exhibitors were compromised by the violence of the storm. This is significant damage, but it doesn't matter. The fundamental thing is that no one was hurt, also because fortunately, at that time the area was empty. In these hours, thanks to the help of volunteers, we have put the tables back in place, dismantled and emptied the food areas. The bad weather then also hit some areas around Milan. In Cambiego, a large oak tree fell on Via Monzoni, causing traffic problems.
Distrugge la macchina. Siamo proprio in mezzo alla tempesta, porca di quella puttana Eva.
There are over 160 interventions, ongoing or pending, by the fire brigade due to the strong wave of bad weather that has affected Lombardy in the last few hours, causing numerous damages and inconveniences. The provinces most affected are those of Monza and Brianza, Milan, Como, Bergamo and Cremona. The operations room of the Monza and Brianza command, the fire brigade announced, is managing over 50 requests for urgent technical assistance, mainly for flooding and fallen trees.
Anche se è veramente dura, perché qua questo era un tendone di 30 metri che si è sfasciato.
Despite the severity of the storm and some of the incidents that required the intervention of the firefighters, there were no injuries. To deal with the emergency, 14 provincial and reinforcement teams and the same number of operational vehicles from the central headquarters in Bergamo were sent to the territories involved. The episode, increasingly frequent also in Italy due to climate change, relaunches the urgency of a more effective prevention plan to deal with extreme weather events that seem destined to become the new normal.